guys, this is Tina from Shabbydabbydoodah. Welcome back to my channel. So we're here for another one of our mass making sessions, and today what I thought we could do is mass make the little fold out well, I can't really describe them, so the best thing is that I actually demonstrate and show you what we're actually going to make. So if you're going to join along with me, I have brought along some scraps kind of from some 12 by 12s, and I'm going to try and make some smaller ones from these. I've got obviously a full size 12 by 12 here, and then I've got some A4, you know, printables here. Now I will say these are going to be kind of opening out, so you're going to see both sides. So you may want to ensure that you're either using something that's double-sided or that you're using something that you've coffee dyed the back, just so you don't have, you know, a bunch of white paper on the back. But I mean, completely up to you. If that doesn't worry you, then that's absolutely fine too. So let's take the first one and we'll just kind of get started. So for this one, all you're going to actually do is fold this down like this. So we're going to fold it in half, and you will want your bone folder for these. If you don't have a bone folder, of course, you can just use your scissor handles or something like that. So you're going to fold it in half like that, and then you're going to fold the front piece over to meet the back piece, if that makes sense, like that. And then you're going to flip it over and just do exactly the same here, like that. Okay. So you've got then your little foldy out piece. And then what we want to do is cut this down so that we have the foldy kind of flap, if that makes sense. So your flap's going to kind of fold over like that. So completely and utterly up to you how far down you want to have that, you know, fold mark. Let's have it, I think, about here. Like that. So again, then just bone folder this down. Like that. And then what you're going to want to do is obviously cut this away on 3 folds worth, if that makes sense. So you're going to have three folds worth kind of without. Now I find this easiest to just cut this down where I've actually folded. You know, that's kind of quite accurate then to, you know, have it where I want it. And then this piece here, we're just going to kind of, and again, you can do this any shape that you want, but I'm just going to do it sort of slightly in like a sort of envelope type flap. And then I can just use that tiny little bit here. Oops, she says. Ooh. Yep, this way up. Sorry, kind of lost my bearing there. So folding it up that way, and then we can just fold or cut that in. So they're sort of similar size, like that. Okay, so when you fold your piece now, you're then going to have a little foldy flap down there to hold that closed. And then obviously it's up to you how you actually hold this closed, if that makes sense. So just going to kind of bone folder that down there. Let me see what I might have that might look pretty with this. Okay. I don't know now. I mean, that actually looks quite pretty. So yeah, we could have something like that on there. I don't know whether I actually do want that piece to be fair. Let me just quickly... I'm just grabbing like a handful of things out of my ephemera box. Oh, that's quite nice, isn't it? Yeah. So I'm just going to ink this up a little bit. So this is just one of my labels, and the background paper is from my Savile Row kit. So we just ink around like that. Okay. And then we're going to glue this down sort of on the front that will hold, you know, hold it closed. So probably, yeah, probably want to start the glue around here. I mean, again, this isn't really an exact science, and some of it will depend on how thick your paper is and things like that, because obviously the heavier this piece is, you know, the heavier you're going to need your piece that's going to hold it. I hope that makes sense. you know, because there's no point in having a really flimsy piece then trying to hold quite a thick piece closed. Oh, I hope this is making sense. Even as I'm saying it, I'm not convinced. Okay, so squish that down like that. Okay. Press that down. Like that. Yay! So then what you've got here is you've got your tuck here. So obviously that can untuck. And then you've got this whole fold out piece for writing on. And then depending on the paper that you've used, you know, you may want to decorate this. It may be that it's decorative already. It might be plain enough to be able to journal on. You know, completely up to you really. I'm just going to straighten this up a bit because it's looking a little bit wonky. Like that. But they're just kind of really cute, I think, to just clip on or, you know, pop in a pocket or something like that. So there we go. How sweet do they look? Now, actually, I've got a lot of leeway here that I can add some more glue. So just going to put more glue there, like that. Okay. Such a cute little insert, isn't it? So that's all that we're going to be making. And like I say, I mean, I've here used a complete 4x4. That's a car. A complete A4 sheet. But of course you could use your scraps, make kind of smaller ones, you know, just adapt them to the papers that you've actually got to hand. So I'm going to put this to one side and I'm just going to kind of lay some stuff on that so that that stays glued down. So I'm just going to bring in another one. So this one here is my Purple Rain papers, and these ones are on regular copy paper, where that other one was kind of thicker paper. So I'm just going to again fold it in half like that. Now the bone folder, you know, not quite so essential when you're working with slightly thinner papers. I will bone folder it down because of, you know, it just makes it neat, but it's not an essential. And then take your front to the back, if that makes sense, and then turn it over and take this piece to the back there. So I mean, effectively you're ending up with, like, you know, an M shape or a W shape. That's kind of all you're actually aiming to get, really. Like that. And then again, all we're going to do is kind of have a little foldy flap coming over. So pick your side that you want to have on the front. So I'm thinking for this one, yeah, I probably want to have these gorgeous purple flowers. So again, I find the easiest way is to open it back out and then fold it down in its entirety like that. Again, bone folder it down just to give you the kind of guide to cut into, and then just cut along here like that. Okay, and then we're just going to again cut this, you know, sort of envelope flap shape. And this one here, again, kind of envelope flap shape. I didn't bother with those corners even that time, actually, but that hopefully is okay. I'm just going to cut this edge off where, you know, it didn't quite print 100% borderless, like that. And then your flap will go tucking down there. This one, actually, I need to just trim this down slightly. So now it's trimmed, I can just take the whole thing together like that. Okay. Oops. Again, made a horrible job of cutting that very wonky. Okay. How cute does that look? And so again, you know, this is just flimsy copy paper, so we really don't need anything particularly, you know, thick or heavy to hold that down. So I'll just see what I've got here in my little bits that I pulled out just now. I might not really have anything suitable there. Let me just have a look through my little organiser that's on my desk. Got this lilac coloured ticket. That's quite sweet. So just even something like that could even hold that closed, couldn't it? Or I've got Eiffel Tower. Oh, what else? Got this piece. This is very thick. You know, that's kind of overkill, to be honest. It does not need to be as thick as that. What else have I got? Little bird piece. Oh, it's such a tough decision sometimes, isn't it, to just find the right thing. So I might just go for that ticket, to be honest. So again, let's just glue that in. Plenty of glue. Oops, just going to dab a little bit of that off because it's perhaps a little bit too much on there now. And just kind of going up to the flap there. Okay, and then just press that down. Okay. So again, just, you know, completely kind of close there and then opens out. And you've got your writing space or, you know, your decorative space. Obviously, these are both patterned, you know, both sides of this are patterned. Personally, I mean, I think you could easily journal on this because it's not heavy, you know, or dark pattern. But if you felt that you couldn't, you could obviously just stick some, you know, some plain paper kind of in the middles of these to form your journaling spaces. So, you know, depending on the paper that you're using will depend on, you know, how you finish yours off, basically. So, there we go. Okay, so we have made two. Again, I'm just going to pop that down underneath some things to weigh it down. Right, let's pull in another piece. So I'm going to use some of my Victorian florals. Okay, so again, just going to take the whole sheet, fold it in. This is my Victorian florals set 3. Okay, again, bone folded the thing, you know, the whole thing down. And then we're just going to squish this down. And do you see my mistake here? I've done it back to front. Yep, because at this rate, I would then have plain being my predominant thing that's showing. So all I need to do is obviously fold it in on itself to get my folds going the other way. Like that. Okay, squish that and then turn it over, and then this one, again, squish the whole thing down. Like that. Okay, and then again, we're just going to make our little foldy piece to hold the whole thing closed. So, I mean, I might even try just cutting these down. Oh, I don't know whether I can do that. No, I don't think I can. So, yeah, let's go for how I've done the others. Okay. Like that. Okay, and then I'm just going to cut this in here. Oops, forming a sort of envelope flap. Like that. And then this piece here. Like that. And then again, we just take this off here. You know, chances are this is going to now not be very straight, so I'll probably have to tidy this up I'm just going to pop that to one side. And there's my piece there. I mean, I've not made a great job of cutting the flap actually either, so I'm just going to trim that flap up. It just needs to come in slightly more here. Okay. And actually this bit's not too bad, funnily enough. I thought that was also going to be terrible, but that doesn't look too bad. Okay, like that. So this one, as I say, this is on probably I think it's 200 GSM, so this is quite heavy paper, so I'm going to obviously need a heavier, you know, something heavier to actually hold that that flap down. So something like this would be better, you know, something with a bit of weight to actually hold it down. I mean, this is quite lovely, isn't it? So I might just go for that. Again, just quickly ink around this. This is just a stamped image, which actually it's, you know, it's not even been stamped very well actually, but you know, it looks quite pretty on that paper, and I, you know, stamped it off a long time ago, so it's just been sat in my stash, but we just put that there like that. And obviously you don't have to have these closures, you know, you could just have your foldy flap and then have an envelope, a paper clip holding it closed. You know, that would also work perfectly well. So you could just have literally a paper clip up here that would hold the whole thing closed. So perhaps we'll do that for the next one, just to give it a different feel. And what you could also have is, like last week when we did the policy envelope closures, you know, with the 2 circles, you could do that. So you could have a circle here and a circle here and wrap them around like that. So again, perhaps we'll try and do one like that as well. But these are the basic, you know, the basic bases of your piece. So yeah, I shall stop talking you through the process now, and you know, we'll just relax into it, have a nice you know, catch up and nice time making some of these, and yeah, we'll just kind of have a nice time. So I'm going to do this one. This one is my Moonlit Moments kit. So again, just going to fold that in, trying to do it the right way around this time, so i.e. keeping the pattern, so the pattern's going to be on the outside. So folding this down here like that. Oops. Oh, this paper's a bit torn actually. Okay. And then squish this one down. And then again, decide which way round you want it. So I probably want this one here. And then I'm going to just take this down to do my flap. So I hope everyone's been having a good week. Hope you've been doing some crafting, having a nice time. What's the weather like where you guys are? It's really, really strange weather here. I'm filming this on Sunday. Normally would film on a Monday, but this weekend we've got a holiday weekend, what we call a bank holiday weekend here. So we've got, you know, yeah, everything's closed on the Monday as well. So I'm filming on the Sunday, and yeah, it's very, very strange weather. So yesterday was, well, I was going to say was warm. It wasn't necessarily warm. Sorry, I did just knock the camera there. It wasn't overly warm, but it was okay. But it was very sunny, so it looked like it was going to get warm. Now, they had predicted, you know, or forecast pretty rubbish weather and said it was going to rain a lot. But it didn't really look like rain. It really just, you know, it didn't look like rain at all. So I probably had higher hopes than I should have done for the weather. So went out and, in fact, when I first left the house, because I had a jumper on, but just a smallish jacket. And I thought, oh gosh, you know, I'm going to be boiling like this, because, you know, it really looked like the weather was about to kind of really improve. So I was worried I was going to be too hot. Well, it was just the most bizarre thing, because no sooner had we arrived where we were going, then literally the heavens opened. Not only did it chuck it down, it was massive, like golf ball size hailstones within like 5 seconds of arriving there. They lasted for ages and ages. Didn't particularly cheer up after that, although, you know, the rain and hailstones did kind of have a bit of a rest. oh, it was just the most bizarre thing. And then the sun kind of came back out and it was looking quite promising again. And then again, the heavens opened, chucked it down pretty much for, yeah, I would say the rest of the afternoon. But yeah, it wasn't really the rest of the afternoon, but it was a long time. And of course, we've just opened up over here in the UK. Lots of things have opened up. So shops and things like that have all opened up. And restaurants and things are now able to open as well. But they're only able to open for outside seating. So it just was really bizarre because obviously there were lots of restaurants and things like that that were open with people sat outside. I have no idea why, but they didn't seem to have like tons of umbrellas, you know, covering the tables. So it was kind of luck of the draw, really, if you were able to get a table with an umbrella. I think you actually had to book to, you know, to have a table with an umbrella. But so if you hadn't, then obviously you could find that you've just ordered your food, paid for it, and then within a couple of seconds, the heavens opened. And I mean, I'm talking like proper downpour. It wasn't like you could just kind of, you know, front it out and think, well, I'm just going to sit here anyway. No, it was proper pouring. So, yeah, really, really, really strange. I mean, typical bank holiday weekend weather, really. So that was a bit of a shame. But anyway, I mean, to be fair, it was what they forecast. Oh, do you know, I totally forgot. We said we were going to do a paperclip for this one, didn't we? I was so busy rambling on about what we'd done on Saturday, so yesterday, that I totally forgot that. So we'll do a paperclip for the next one. Right. Okay, so let's make one with the paperclip. Now I have to confess this is now the next day. So I'm now filming this on the bank holiday Monday. I'm quickly filming it while everyone's still in bed. Well, I say everyone. My daughter is up, but the boys are in bed. So I'm going to put this one to one side. Again, just kind of putting it under some things. So I've got this, which is just some, you know, cardstock, which I've just stamped around the edges. And I thought that we could do this one. Now, obviously, this is going to be a short, stumpy one. So I'm not sure whether I want it actually quite this whole width. Oh, well, let's go for it and see how it looks, shall we? Oops, I've done it again where I've folded it in the wrong way. I think your natural thing is to keep the pattern showing, isn't it? So you end up folding it into the pattern. Okay. Yeah, so it's Bank Holiday Monday here today. So I'm meeting my friend today, going out with the children, so to a park. They've got some little boats and things as well, so hopefully going to go out and, you know, take a boat out onto the, well, it's just like a little pond really, but yeah, so hopefully have a nice time. So I've just sent my daughter downstairs to have a look for a pair of tights. I know I've talked about this before, but her rim is the most gigantic tip ever. So, yep, she's been moaning that she can't find any tights. I seem to constantly be having to buy her tights. And then 2 seconds later, they have holes in them, she's lost them, you know, all of the above. So, yeah, she's been moaning on so far this morning about not having any tights. So I've sent her downstairs to go and look for her tights. So fingers crossed she's going to find them. I mean, honestly, her rim is such a pigsty. I know I say this all the time, but you just lose the will to live. And yeah, there's no point tidying it up because honestly, within like 3 seconds of her being in there, it's just a tip again. So, you know, just no point. It's just a losing battle. Just literally fighting a losing battle. Okay. Oh, that looks really cute like that, doesn't it? I thought it was going to be, you know, a bit sort of big, a bit small, sorry, a bit squashy. but yeah, it looks really nice actually. Just going to trim this down because it's a little bit slanty. Okay. There we go. Yeah, I don't know whether I said this already, but my son and his girlfriend, they went to Devon for the weekend. They got back yesterday. So when I say the weekend, they went Friday morning early, and they got back, yeah, last night. So they've gone for two nights. Devon from us, it's about, well, I think, I was going to say I think it's a couple of 100 miles. I don't really know whether that's true. I might not have got that quite right. But anyway, we're right down in the centre of the bottom of the country. And Devon is right over, when you're looking at the map, it's right over on the west side. Yeah, kind of down the skinny kind of leg bit. But more the point is, rather than the distance, the journey to Devon is normally horrendous, I have to say. We went there a few years ago, and it took us 7 hours to get there. It was just the most horrible journey. So, yeah, I kind of said to my son, oh, good luck, good luck going to Devon. But they set off very early on the Friday. I think they set off at, I think it was 6 in the morning, actually, they set off. And they got there, with no problems, which was awesome. They got there kind of in good time. So that was really great. And then yesterday, they travelled back like, during the day at more normal, civilised hours. But they were really lucky again, because actually, it wasn't too bad. But I suspect that's because they came back. Sorry, I'm just deciding what to have on my paperclip. They decided to come back. Well, not decided, they'd booked to come back on the day earlier, if you see what I mean, than the actual end of the bank holiday. So I suspect that had they stayed till today, it might have been worse, because obviously everyone would be coming back on the bank holiday Monday. So yeah, they probably managed to escape the bulk of the traffic by, kind of going a bit early. So I'm just wondering whether to kind of layer it up like that for my paper clip. So I'm just going to tear that down, because I really like having those edges. Right. I'm just going to take my paper clip and just going to literally layer these bits on here, I think, like that. And I'm just going to use the hot glue, because again, it's just really nice and quick. Oh, please excuse my hot glue. It's been sat overnight on, because I was hoping to come back up yesterday at some point to finish the video. So I'd left everything on and, waiting to go, and then didn't get a chance to come and finish the video. So, okay. And then I'm just going to take a little bit to put at the back. Like that. Might just put my paper clip on here actually. Okay. Just need to cut that down quite a bit, because we don't really want the paper clip showing. There we go. And then again, when I do my paper clips, for anyone who hasn't seen, I do always use hot glue, because it's just absolute quick and easy, and you don't have to then be worrying whether your piece has stuck down. You just know that it's stuck. Whereas, I mean, of course you can use wet glue or any other glue, but you're going to then have to, press it down, leave something on it, make sure that it's actually gluing down properly. So it's just a time thing, really. If you can just use, a bit of hot glue, it just really cuts down worrying about whether it's glued together. Okay. Yeah, Devon, super pretty. Super pretty. I mean, unfortunately, they didn't really have the best weather, of course, because, I mean, it's only early in the year, isn't it? I mean, we've only just come into May. So, you know. But anyway, they still had a nice time by the sounds of things. They stayed in a little sort of retro caravan, you know, which just, yeah, sounded really, really cute. Well, looked really cute. They, you know, showed some pictures as well. Just got this flower, which had just been kind of floating about in my stash. So it's not one of mine or anything. It's from a little pack from years ago, actually. I've had it for such a long time. And it's actually got a little bit of gilding on there. I don't know if you can see that. So I'll just put that like that. Just take that hot glue off. Yeah, I don't know what the weather's going to be doing today because, I mean, to be fair, they forecast the whole bank holiday as pretty awful. And although it has been very strange, like I mentioned before, you know, it's probably not been as awful as, you know, it could have been. But yeah, I think today is not supposed to be great. So hopefully it will kind of hold out while we're out, you know, but I mean, you just can't tell really. And bank holidays, you know, they do always have that kind of habit, don't they, of, you know, letting the side down weather-wise, don't they? Right, just having a look to see whether I've got some pink flowers that I can just tie that flower in, really. Just ink this up. I shouldn't really be decorating this because we're going to decorate one obviously, you know, towards the end of the video, but I just thought as this has got that paper clip on, I'd just see how that looks. And then I've got a little die cut piece, which perhaps we could have that, I don't know, maybe something like that. It's quite pretty, isn't it? The only thing is I have lost completely all of that scrolly effect. Does that matter? Oh, it probably doesn't really, does it? Let's just cut that down. Okay. Yeah, and then I'm just going to pop that on there. Just so it's got, you know, something to tie in that pink from the flower on the paper clip itself. Oh, now my glue's not cooperating, sorry. Yeah, I'm trying to be a little bit quiet so I don't just wake everyone up with my doing the video, but you know, to be honest, they're probably sound asleep and probably nothing could wake them. But you know what it's like. If you assume that, then you're going to wake them up, aren't you? Okay. That's that one, and then we're just going to pop this little rose down. Yeah, just like that. So again, just use my wet glue. I love how this one's turned out, actually. I mean, I had my doubts because it was on that thicker card and because obviously it was smaller, but I think it's actually turned out really, really nice. I love it with the paper clip holding it closed. So that's that one. Oh, super pretty. So I'm going to do one now with the policy envelope closures because we also talked about that, didn't we? So I'm just going to put this to one side. Again, kind of weighed down under the stuff there. So let's just pull in. Okay, so this is another one of my Victorian Florals papers. This again is set 3. And again, it's been coffee dyed, so the back is, you know, nice and, you know, scrumptious. Again, must remember to fold in to the pattern rather than keeping the pattern facing me. So just squish that down like that. Okay. There we go. And then this way, oops. Yeah, so anyone who is in the UK who had a holiday weekend, you know, I hope you've had a really nice weekend. I know I say this, you know, when it's a bank holiday, but because I'm never sure whether other countries kind of have their holiday weekends the same as us. I mean, I realise obviously not all of them, but like say the May Day bank holiday, which is what we call this one, I don't know whether other people have, you know, have one at the same time. But if you have, I hope you've had a lovely time too. Okay, let's cut this down here. I mean, to be honest, these don't really need a lot of decorating because, you know, they're predominantly for writing space. But we will decorate one up towards the end. Have I watched anything recently? Nope, nothing of note. Still, yeah, still just not into anything else yet. Yeah, nothing at all. I think just been busy and things like that, and so just haven't really got into watching anything else. Made a bit of a boo-boo there, but it's just going to tidy that piece up. Yeah, so we haven't really got into watching anything else. Oh my goodness, what a horrible job I've made of that. Let me just bring this corner in a bit. Just make that slightly shorter, I think. Okay, so that looks okay. And then of course I'm just going to squish it down. You know, what you might find is once you've folded it and you're happy with the, you know, the size and the shape, just squish it then all together, like all those layers. So just bringing in my circles, and I like to just keep some ready punched. Oops, although now I only have 4. Okay. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter actually. I'll put this through there and then I don't need to worry. Otherwise I just felt aware that that was kind of a different colour. Okay. Okay. Oh, I can't wait for the summer, honestly. I mean, it's really weird because actually I don't think we had too bad a winter at all. And I was saying this to my son the other day and said, you know, I feel like we had the most mild winter ever, you know, like really just, we didn't seem to have anything major going on. There wasn't like lots of rain. There was, you know, excess rain anyway. There wasn't, I don't know, you know, we didn't have snow as such or anything like that. So I feel like we've had like almost like no winter. It's been, you know, so mild. And then I did say to my son, now, is that the case? Or is that just because it's been lockdown that actually winter's kind of passed us by, you know, and haven't really even noticed what's been going on? I'm not really too sure, you know, whether it's that or whether actually it was just a really mild winter. I'm not sure. It's weird. But yeah, I mean, despite that, you know, even though it's felt like sort of we've had a really mild winter or, you know, got off lightly, I still feel I can't wait for summer. Can't wait for the summer. You know, just to be able to kind of go down the beach. I mean, we've been to the beach a lot anyway. But I mean, of course, it's nicer if you go on a nice sunny day rather than, you know, in the winter. Yeah, so I mean, just things like going to the beach and, you know, all of those nice things. Can't wait to do any of that. Okay. So just squish that down there for a moment. And then I'm just going to hot glue this one on. Again, just using my hot glue, you know, for speed, basically, you know, because when you're doing the video, you just want it nice and quick. Okay. Like that. So, I mean, you have got different, you know, different options, obviously, to close them. And, I mean, I'm not saying that this is all the options. I'm sure there's other things as well that you could do. Right, just having a look, because I've got some brown baker's twine here, which I think would look really good on here. So, I'm just going to go from the top. So tie that round. That's it, poking in there. And then around the other way. Like that. Snip that down. Okie dokie. Oh, come on, come on. Oh. Yeah, strangely enough, I think, you know, hotels and things, they're not open yet. Well, I think they are open, but for sort of what they would call essential travellers at the moment. So, yeah, hence my son and his girlfriend, they just did, like, you know, this caravan that they found on Airbnb. So, yeah. I mean, again, you know, things like summer holidays and all of that kind of stuff, you know, it's an unknown, isn't it, really? I mean, I don't know quite, you know, whether we'll be able to even be on, you know, on holidays, really. I don't know. I mean, who'd have thought, you know, I say this all the time, but who'd have thought a couple of years ago that we'd even be in this scenario in the first place? And even last year, I mean, who would have thought, actually, sorry, I've probably folded this the wrong way because I probably want this on the outside because it's just a little tiny fraction darker. Who'd have thought, you know, even last year, though, that we would still be in this same scenario a year later? I mean, it's just flabbergasting, to be honest. You know, and if someone had said it, I mean, you just wouldn't have believed it, to be honest. Well, I wouldn't have believed it, you know. You'd have kind of said, oh, you know, that's not going to happen. You know, don't think that's going to be happening anytime soon. It's just really, really strange. Right, just checking which way I want this. Okay. Ooh, which way do I want it? I prefer the pink, I think. Yeah, let's go for the pink. And this is my Parisian, pink Parisian papers. Okay. Yeah, very, very strange. I mean, just what a couple of years, you know. Well, I mean, it's not a couple of years, is it? It's just over a year, but, you know, I'm sure by the end, well, I say by the end, I mean, let's hope by the end. Might not even be anywhere near the end for all we know. I mean, hopefully we are going to be coming to the end of this soon, but, you know, I mean, countries are doing incredibly well with the vaccine programs and all of that kind of stuff. So, I mean, hopefully, you know, that's going to be everyone's way out from all of this. But, yeah, looking forward to, you know, life just returning to normal, to be honest. I mean, even things like going shopping, you know, I think I said this before. I mean, it's such a strange experience because now, you know, you have to queue outside the shops because it's obviously all about the quantity of people that they're allowed in the shops. So, you know, you can't just go into a shop, you happen to queue, which I assume is probably the same everywhere in, you know, around the globe. I don't know. But I mean, that in itself is just a bizarre situation, isn't it? And of course, you know, it makes even going shopping and things like that just the most strange experience. Okay. You know, and I mean, like I say, just even like the restaurant thing and all of that, I mean, what a bizarre situation that, you know, you now even need to book just to have a drink, you know, outside a restaurant, you know, even just a sort of coffee. I mean, not everywhere, that's, you know, that's not the case everywhere, but, you know, in a lot of these places, I mean, it's just bizarre, absolutely bizarre. Right, just deciding what I would like for this one. I mean, I do really like how those policy closures look, so I think I might go for those. And I've got my lovely new circle punch, which Heather so kindly gifted me. So thank you so much, Heather. I really, really appreciate that. Oops. Just take my previous circles out. Yeah, I really appreciate that. Thank you so much, Heather. I mean, honestly, a circle punch is kind of like an essential tool, isn't it? I mean, I have got a bigger circle punch, but yeah, my 1-inch circle punch, which, you know, use all the time, has broken. So yeah, this is awesome. Thank you so much, Heather. And actually, this is a really lovely punch to use. Yeah, it's a really lovely one. I can't remember. Yeah, Fiskars. It's a Fiskars punch. Because, you know, they do vary a little bit. I can't remember what my last one was. It might have just been from Hobbycraft, which is our, you know, craft store here. But definitely this one feels a lot more glidey to use than the previous one that I had. So yeah, this one's absolutely awesome. Okie dokie. I could do with just punching out a bunch of these more for in my jar. I do like to keep a bunch of circles ready punched, because then you've just always got them to hand. Right, so I've done 4 this time, so I don't need to go through the back of this paper. Just going to grab a couple of brads to put through those. Okay, hold on. 1, 2, there we go. Okay. Yeah, done a bit more clearing out in the garden. My son has finished the decking now, which is amazing. So I'm going to stain the decking at some point. I bought the stain. I'm sort of, you know, raring to go, or, you know, ready to go. Let's not say raring, because I'm not raring to go. But yeah, I mean, it won't take very long. But anyway, I've bought the stain. I'm ready to go. So hopefully I'll manage to do that at some point this week. We've still got a lot of rubble to clear, but I have done more clearing. Took it to the dump yesterday. Another load of stuff. So yeah, kind of getting on top of the mess that is in the garden. But the decking looks great, I must say. He's done such a brilliant job. I mean, it's so awesome having, you know, a son who's quite handy. And of course, you know, he also is doing his electrical course. So he was able to change. We had like some outdoor lights, you know, in the garden, but they were quite old fashioned, you know, because we'd had them obviously for a long time. So he was able to change those as well for sort of more modern version. So yeah, really handy having a little electrician in the family. Okay. I mean, we did talk about he was going to, you know, set some lights into the decking. We didn't opt for that in the end, but, you know, I kind of Googled it for a bit, sort of debating whether to do that or not. But yeah, I thought perhaps it was a bit much. So not a bit much to do, but, you know, maybe it would look a little bit, you know, bit much. I'm not sure. So we didn't do that anyway. But yeah, he's changed the lights that were on the walls. So yeah, it's all looking really good. Well, looking really good if you don't look at the big pile of rubble that's still there. But you just have to, you know, avert your eyes, and then it's looking all good. Okay. Okay. I love these policy closures. I know I say it all the time, but they're just, there's something kind of vintage feeling just about having the policy closures, I think. So that's that one. I mean, they're just gorgeous, aren't they? And, you know, they really do provide quite a lot of journaling space. So let's pull in the ones that we did, and then let's decorate one up. Okay, so these are all the ones that we've done. So we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I don't think that's too bad. And let's now decorate one up. I mean, obviously we've kind of semi-decorated this one anyway. But yeah, perhaps we'll decorate this pink one with the label, because that looks quite pretty, doesn't it? So let's just see what we're going to put on there. I've got this just offcut from that label. I might have to just put that on there for no other reason other than it just gets it off the desk, to be honest. Oh, I might just do something like that, to be fair. You know, sometimes you really don't need to put very much stuff on at all, and you know, it just gives a lovely effect with like no effort required. So yeah, let's just stick this one down. Okay. Right, just going to dab that off so I've not got so much excess glue. Oh, and I was about to stick it the wrong way round. Okay, just wipe this. Okay. And of course, let's have some lace on here somewhere, because otherwise it's looking very, very plain, isn't it? Let's have some lace, definitely. But I'm also going to have that cameo on there. Just looks really pretty like that, doesn't she? So this is just a stamped piece. This is from I think it's a Prima Marketing stamp, I think. Actually, no, it's not. Sorry, I do apologise. This was a Hobbycraft stamp. Yeah, this was a Hobbycraft stamp, and it had like a really big, weird, flourishy kind of outline. And what I did when I bought the stamp, I knew that I didn't really overly like that. So I just cut all of that away and just made it just that simple kind of cameo there in the middle, which just worked much better for, you know, how I would be likely to use the stamp. But I don't know whether they would even do the stamp anymore. So yeah, but it was Hobbycraft. Okay, let's just untuck the flap. Hope it wasn't stuck in. Luckily it wasn't. Just going to ink, you know, like here on the creases. So it's just got that sort of aged effect. And then just again down here. And then we'll just do a bit of ink here on the edge. And then a bit here around the back. Okay. Okay, looking good so far. So tuck that one into there. Okay, what lace do we have? I've just picked this up randomly just because it was, you know, a scrap laying to the side. Obviously, that's not really the piece to use, is it? I mean, obviously it's grey. I wonder whether I could just ink it up. I'm just going to see how it would look inked up. It might still look very grey. But you don't know if you don't try, do you? And to be honest, whatever I use it for, I possibly would ink it up. So I've only really used grey, I think, once in a journal. And actually it was using my nostalgia kit. And I did a ring bound journal and I used this grey lace for that. I have to say it did look really nice, actually. But yeah, that's the only time I've used grey. Oh, I quite like it at the bottom, but I quite like it at the top. I think the bottom is best. So again, I'm just going to hot glue this on just for speed again. So like that. And we will just cut that off. want any more lace. Only because I've got that little scrap now left, so it would just be good to be able to use it. You know, because it's not going to be much good anywhere else, is it? So, you know, if you can just make use of things and get rid of the whole piece in one go, then it's just preferable, really. Okay. Whoops. Oh, that looks super pretty. Right, let me just see about some bling here, because of course everything's better with bling. Now, do we want the bling down there or do we want it up here? Quite like it on the flap, I think. So again, let's just pick that up. I've got really shaky hands today, so I do apologise. I sometimes just have really shaky hands. You know, whoops. Oops. Always have. You know, they've always been quite shaky, but yeah, there's some days they're worse than others. And I suspect that they're a little bit funny because I've not had breakfast yet. So, okay, really looking very pretty now. Just going to see if I want to have a butterfly or anything on here. And I know that's not really the right colour. Let me just pull in my little box of butterflies. Definitely not the right colour, is it? Although, weirdly, I prefer that to the other one. That one. Oh, how about this one? Yep. Let's go for this one, I think. So I'm just going to ink this up. Oh, it's got a little chunk missing. Again, that's just from that scan and cut, which, you know, sometimes the scan and cut works fantastically, and sometimes, you know, it just can't really see the image if they're slightly paler. It, you know, struggles to kind of obviously identify the edges, you know, which is fair enough, isn't it, really? But you don't always want to have dark pieces, just so the scan and cut can pick them up, do you? So, okay. Where do we want the butterfly? Oh, I'm going to have to try and tidy this up because, yeah, it's just looks really weird. Oops. Oh my goodness. That's better. Oh, where do we like it? I mean, I quite like it up there, but then I quite like it down here as well. And it's a shame that I haven't got two the same colour. I don't really think that that's looking too good on there. Let me just pull in another, or, you know, some others, and see whether I've got any that would just kind of tone, even if it's not the same. Let's have a look. Oh, what's this one that I keep seeing at the bottom? Oh, that's not too bad, is it? So I'm just going to ink this one up as well. Oh, that looks gorgeous, doesn't it? I mean, this kind of then picks up this colour, and this one obviously, you know, picks up the pinks and the grey. So yeah, I quite like them like that. And just positioned, you know, in those kind of spots, I think just is really nice. Okay. There we go. Ooh, super pretty. Okay, so that's how that one looks. Right. Let's see the ones that we've done, and also I'm just going to pull in a journal. So I am finally actually making a journal now. Haven't done any on film, but I can just show you how it would look in a pocket. Now I have to say this is, you know, it's not going to go with this journal, but just to give you an idea. So for instance here I've got sort of a tuck spot, and that could just tuck in to the tuck spot. Alternatively, could just have it sort of paper clipped on at the edge of a page or something. I mean, ideally, I think probably these are better as a pull-out piece. But, you know, that said, I mean, there's no reason why you couldn't glue it onto a page, you know, because you could glue it, say, on the 3 sides and have it as a little pocket. And then you just open it out, you know, like that. So, I mean, yeah, to be honest, there's no reason why it couldn't be glued down. So, yeah, just ignore my previous statement. But yeah, they're super cute, aren't they? And, you know, they just give a lot of journaling space, I think, because obviously you've got effectively an entire piece of A4 page, which, you know, is kind of like a whole nother journal page when you think about it like that. So yeah, these are the ones that we made, and hope that you liked them. Have fun if you make some, and yeah, see you guys tomorrow. Thanks then. Bye.